Okay, now let's go over the form. Every time you open up an inspection, you can click anywhere in the inspection to open it up. So you can click on the address or it just opens up the inspection for you. Now it always opens up for the info comments page, which is it's kind of like the outside of the inspection. It's going to give you information. Down here is a comment. So if we ever need to send you a comment on this inspection, it will show up here. You will also get an email from us. In the middle here, this is a property note, which is a really good tool for inspectors. Anything you want to say about the house that you want to remember for next month, you can go ahead and put it here. If you want to, if it was a house that was hard to find, you could put the latitude and longitude in here and save it. So next month, you'll already have that information. If you wanted to put it's a blue house or long driveway, you could put that information here, save it, and then going forward, that property note's always going to be connected with this address, so that property note will always be there going forward. So next month when you get the order, it'll be there. The month after that, it'll be there. So let's click update so we can look at the inspection. I already have some photos in here. So this is an occupancy inspection with door card. So this is what an occupied form looks like. Let's go over the form starting on the left-hand side. Date completed. You won't ever have to touch that. Inspector name. That fills automatically for you. Access denied. That means you could not access the property, whether there was a gate, no trespassing sign, it was a condo building that you could not get inside. We don't like access denied, so if you can get in, try to get in. We only get paid half price for those, so we try to avoid them. Bad address. There's no such thing as a bad address. If you ever try to turn one in as a bad address, it'll get sent right back to you. There's no such thing. After you've exhausted all avenues, you've talked with the assessor, you've looked on the assessor website, you still can't find that address, go ahead and let someone know from 24 Hour and we will take it from there. Structure type, single family, duplex, triplex, quad, etc. Neighborhood is stable, declining, improving. Property conforms. This means if the house fits into the neighborhood or does it not. So, for example, if you're driving down the street and the property that we're inspecting, all the houses around it, a big, beautiful, nice house, big, beautiful, nice house, big, beautiful, nice house, and then the house we're inspecting is in shambles, it's falling apart, it's not being taken care of, it does not fit into the neighborhood. That's what property conforms means. Exterior property condition, good, fair, poor. Corrected primary phone. This just means that the homeowner is giving you a new phone number to give to the bank, or they changed their number and they're giving it to you to let the bank know they can call them on this number instead. Type of construction. 95% of the time it's going to be frame. So if it's a brick block house, which isn't going to happen very often, but that means that the whole entire house is brick block. Front side, the whole left side, the whole back side, and the whole right side. So if it's just the front of the house that's brick, it's not a brick block house. That would still be a frame house. If just the bottom half was brick or block, it is not a brick or block house. It's a frame house. So just keep in mind all four sides have to be fully covered with brick or block. Moving on here, violations posted. When you go to a house and you see pieces of paper or anything stuck to the front door or the front windows of the house, violations. These are the type of violations that there will be. Always take a photo of it. Safety is condemned. Grass, the city will post a violation on the house saying the grass is too long, it needs to be cut. The bank needs to send someone out there to cut the grass, so take a photo of the violation and mark which one it is. Nearby negative influence. This question just talks about what's around the house, if there's anything that's a negative influence on the house or the price of the house, the sale price of the house. we think they just use that for statistic numbers. Property shows damage. This is very, very important. If you ever mark damage on a house, or if you look at a form, it's the first time you've gone there and you check to make sure if it's got damage or not, because we always need to take a photo of it. If you mark damage, every month from there on out, we need to take a photo of it up close. So keep in mind that we want to make sure that the damage is real damage. It's serious damage. It's something the bank needs to be concerned about. So a broken window, the roof is falling off, serious things that can really do damage to the house, and the bank needs to maybe do something about it or claim insurance on it. If it's paint peeling, or if the house just needs a little fixer-upper stuff done to it, that's not damage. So keep that in mind. Corrected property address. This means that the address up here, for example, it was supposed to be Avenue and not Boulevard, and you verified through the county assessor that it is supposed to be Avenue and not Boulevard, so that next time when the inspection comes in, you're going to type in the full address and hit yes, and then the bank will change the address the next time you get it. If they don't change the address, they can't always do it right away. Just leave this as yes until finally you'll notice the address will come in correctly, and then you'll hit no because now the address is right. Property is for sale. By owner, by broker. If it's broker, we need the name and the phone number and a photo of it every single time. Once you add something in, as you notice when I first opened up this inspection, the form is filled out from the month before for most of the areas except for the occupancy and the comment. So if you add in a for sale sign, it's going to stay there until you take it off. So once you put in this property is for sale next month, you won't have to add that information in. You'll just have to take a photo of the for sale sign. Occupancy is, let's go through a couple of scenarios. So if you went to the door and Carmen, the owner, came out and said, yes, I'm the owner and I do live here, then the occupancy would be by owner. And then how did you verify this? Occupancy verified by. That would be direct contact because you talked to the owner. And then you would put mortgager. And it's going to fill this in for you, and then you're going to give the attitude, and then yes, you gave him the card. Now if you go to the door and the wife or the child or someone else answers the door and says, yes, he lives here, then it's still going to be by owner, direct contact, but then you're going to change who you spoke with. Relative or other, they wouldn't tell you who they were. Next scenario would be if you went to the door and the person says, no, Carmen does not live here, I'm renting from him. So that would be occupancy is by non-owner, because we know for sure now that the owner does not live there. Direct contact, and you would put tenant. If they give you their name, type it in here. If they don't, say unknown, attitude, and whether you left the card with them or not. Now, if you went to the house and no one answered the door, then it would be by unknown occupant. And how did you verify that? Well, you visually verified that. When you visually verify, you need to find 2 to 3 things down here to prove to us that you did see signs of occupancy and someone is living in this house. So furniture, car, lawn, animals, if there were cats or dogs inside or outside of the house, you can take a photo of them. That's even better. People, sometimes because these homeowners are used to us coming every month, that they will see you, they'll hear you knock on the door, but they aren't going to come to the door because they know what you're going to say. So you can say people, you know, they were people inside, but they didn't come to the door, and then decorations. This name on mailbox and directory, we no longer accept this because people might leave that sign above the front door that says, you know, the Lomans or the Smiths. So we no longer use that to verify occupancy. Garage, carport, self-explanatory. Utilities. Now, utilities are very important also, just as important as the occupancy. Utilities are a very good indicator of whether someone's living there or not. If the power is on, we're going to assume someone's probably living there. No one comes to the door and the power is off, we're going to assume it's empty. So if you go to the house, no one answers the door, grab a picture of the meters, and then you can say electric on by meter because you have a photo of it. If you do not have a photo of the meter, you cannot say meter. In this situation here, it looks like the inspector went and there was a gate preventing them to get to the meter. So you would say unknown other gate, and I need a photo of that gate. Okay. If you go and the owner is home, then you can say on other and put owner verified here. And then you can copy this and paste it into the other one. So you can say on other, owner verified, on other, owner verified. Now, if you're going to use the utility company, from experience, if you call and ask them if that homeowner's power is on, they're probably not going to give you any information. If you try to call and use the address, your chances are better that they're going to give you information. If you do use the utility company, we need the phone number and the name of it every single time down here in the comments. Okay. Now, to go over these other two occupancy now these are mostly going to be for vacant houses, and this house is not vacant. So, vacant secure and vacant not secure. Vacant secure means that the house is vacant and it's locked. Not secure means that someone could get in, there's an open window, the front door is broken so it won't lock shut. So let's scenario this. If this house was occupied last month and you came to this house this month and now it's vacant, and you put the vacancy sticker on the front of the house depending on what type of inspection it is, if it requires the vacant sticker. And then you're going to say vacant secure or vacant not secure depending on if the door is locked. No one can get in. So I'm going to click vacant secure. And this is going to change the form a little bit. So it's going to say, we need to say visual. And it's going to ask me, is maintenance or resecuring recommended? And I'm going to say yes or no, depending on if there is anything. If they need to change the locks, well, if it's a first time vacant, then yes, they would need to change the locks. Anything that needs to be, any glass that needs to be fixed, anything needs to be boarded, the grass needs to be cut. You can also take a photo of that if you can't see it in the front of the house photo or the sides or the back. And it's going to ask you how long the grass is. If there's a hot tub or pool, should it be secured? If there's debris around the house, a lot of personal property, a lot of homeowners, when they move out, they tend to leave a lot of stuff. And then winterize. The house needs to be winterized or not. Over here, they kind of ask you that debris question again. Is there personal property on site? Is there a pool or hot tub? And then they're going to want to know, and that you're going to have to get a photo of the utilities because now the house is vacant. And then down here, this FTV certification is really important. So what this is basically a sure way for us to know that you are, yes, you are calling this house vacant. Because if you were in a hurry and you accidentally click this button instead of this button, you might accidentally call a house vacant that is not vacant. So we're just putting an extra step to make sure that you're saying, yes, I am positive this house is vacant. So you can click yes for FTV, first time vacant. Type in your name here. Sometimes if you're at a vacant house that's not a first time vacant, but it's just vacant, it was vacant last month, if Inspector Aid prompts you to put yes there, it's fine because you're just saying yes, it's vacant. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a first time vacant because we know if it was vacant before or not. So if it's prompting you to say yes there, go ahead as long as it's vacant. It's not a big deal. And then last thing, comments. Every inspection needs a comment. If it's an occupied house, I want you to just give me something short, very simple. Why do you think that house is occupied? Try to put things in the comments that we can't see in the photos. So there were dogs barking inside. I could hear people inside. Is there something you saw through the window that we couldn't see in the photo? There lots of personal property. If it's inside the house and you can see it through the windows, put that in the comments. If there's a lot of personal property outside of the house, take a photo of it because you're just giving us more occupancy verification. If there's a bunch of kids' toys or a bike, go ahead and take a photo of it. But we always need a comment down here, so just give us one short sentence on what happened at the house or what you saw at the house. Okay? So that's how we fill out the form. Get out of here. So this is an interior-exterior inspection, so the form's a tad bit different. Everything's the same, it's just going to ask a couple more questions, just like it did when I changed it from occupied to vacant secure. So down here it's going to ask you if you were able to get inside, if your key worked or not, what appliances are there, and you can see this is what was there last month. Another new question is interior damage. Occupancy is, it's always going to be vacant secure or vacant not secure. Visual. Going to ask you some questions about the interior. Their winterization sticker posted. There's sump pump. Personal property, hot tub. Maintenance or resecuring recommended. If you came to a house that was an interior-exterior and you could not get in because your keys didn't work, then they obviously need to change the lock, so you'll hit yes. And you keep turning that inspection in as yes until you can get into that house. And again, these are the same questions that were on the other form. Winterize, remove debris. Utilities. For an interior-exterior inspection, the utilities should be off. We always need a photo of utilities for vacant houses, so you'll have a photo of them and you'll say utilities off meter or on meter, but they should be off. Down here it's just going to make you confirm that there are no damages. And then here's the FTV thing, so you can hit yes because it is vacant, or you can hit no. And then down here just give us interior comment on the condition of the inside of the house and an exterior comment on the condition of the exterior of the house.